Not knowing how to fuel your long run will result in bonk and failure. But with my current fueling strategy, I now feel the strongest and potentially have the most endurance I have ever experienced on the trails. Good morning. It's about 7 a.m. on this crisp fall 40 to 50 degree morning. Waking up with nature is one of my favorite things, and it really allows you to sit in God's creation and be like, dang, God, you are so creative and so beautiful and so amazing. Fueling for your long runs doesn't just start right now or even this morning when I had my peanut butter banana with honey. It actually started yesterday after my run while I was consuming my post-run meal all the way up to my breakfast where I'm eating carbs before my run. Something I learned is that it takes 24 hours for carbohydrates to fully digest and get stored as muscle glycogen in your system. So if you want to fuel your long runs, take the time before your runs to get a lot of carbohydrates in those 24 hours, especially before those 24-hour period leading up to your big runs. I don't track my macros because I can get obsessive with my eating, but what I do try and focus on is carbohydrates each day. Pretty much every meal that I eat, including days where I don't run, my focus isn't heavy on protein, but on consuming foods like rice, oats, bread, honey, and fruit to ensure that my muscle glycogen stores are topped off. I heavily think about carbohydrates because of their importance, but I try not to obsess over it.
Okay, I'm about 6 miles into my 18-mile long run, and I know before I said that it takes about 24 hours for carbohydrates to digest through your system, and now that I'm talking about it, this is the first time that I've ever really even thought about this. But why, when I'm running, I eat carbohydrates, it is used as fuel immediately, versus why, when I'm not running, it goes into storage? I do not know the answer.
Welcome to Science with Sloop. So basically, I did some research on the question, and the answer to this, in the most simple way I can explain it, is that when you are running, your body needs the fuel right away, so it takes those carbs that you just consumed and digests it quickly so it can be used as fuel to keep you pushing. And when you're resting, your body doesn't need the carbohydrates as quickly, so it stores these carbohydrates in places like your muscles and your liver to be used for later use when you actually need them, like out on the trails or during other high intensity workouts.
But I feel it when I eat carbohydrates during my run. I feel the energy sucked right into my veins, pushing me further. So every couple of miles or so, I'm always snacking on those easily digestible carbohydrates so my body can use that as fuel.
I personally only eat about 20 or 30 grams of carbs every 2 to 3 miles, but what most people recommend is the standard 90 grams of carbs per hour, especially if you want to avoid bonking in the later miles.
When I was running my 50K race about a year ago, I learned that eating too much too quick wrecked my stomach. I had probably about 300 calories in my stomach worth of gels, granola, water, just all smacking my stomach at the same time, and this really wrecked my stomach. I haven't been on any run like that, no, since that point, but if I were to redo it and when I run my ultra marathon, I am going to try and make sure I can maintain a steady amount of calories, like most people say 90 grams of carbs per hour, and the way I want to consume this is spread out over that hour. Not so I just have one massive meal each hour of 90 grams of carbs. I probably have 30 gram of carbs, gels every 20 minutes.
Even though I haven't raced in about a year now, which means I haven't been able to see how my stomach would hold up on race day, spreading out your calories just makes sense. I should be eating more like 90 grams of carbs per hour rather than the 50-ish I'm doing now, but using this spread out calorie strategy has left me with zero stomach discomfort while getting my stomach ready for when I move up to those 90 grams of carbs per hour. If you haven't had eggs and oats, I wouldn't say you're missing out, but it actually is a very good combo. I think I like it more than just straight up eggs. And before I get into the actual fueling strategy that I use, the amount of calories I consume, if you want that improved mental health, especially as a young man, I believe that could be gifted to you through running. So if you want that gift of improved mental health, click that first link in the description where me and you will be on your way to improving your mental health through running. Fueling doesn't just come down to protein and carbs. It also comes down to calories. This is not going to be my last meal on the night, even though it's the last meal that I film. On a big run like this today, I will probably end up eating somewhere around 3,500 to 4,000 calories, because if I am not eating enough calories and slowly losing weight, my body will not be able to perform or recover at its best level. But when I train, when I'm underfueled, I feel my body underperforming and under-recovering and underperforming and under-recovering, which gives me more likely to get injured, less likely to hit the goals that I want to hit, and it also just makes you feel worse. So eating enough calories for me helps me fuel my long runs, because if I am in a calorie deficit, those long runs will not be fueled properly, or will I be able to recover properly. Fueling for your long runs may be more important than the running itself. And the simple pillars of fueling that I follow, like eating carbs before my workouts, consuming 45 to 90 grams of carbs per hour during my workouts, spreading out my calorie consumption, all while eating more than enough calories and protein throughout my day, has given me the ability to run faster for longer on the trail. Raising the question, can I really cross this finish line next May? Bring it on, baby! Bring it on!